Chrysler invented the minivan segment about 37 years ago, and in that time period, the company has managed to sell a little over 15 million minivans across the globe. I'm at the 2020 Chicago Auto Show, where the company has just taken the wraps off of the completely refreshed 2021 Pacifica minivan. Let's take a first look. Now, Chrysler made a pretty bold change when they discontinued the Town and Country name about 3 years ago when the Pacifica came on board. Remember, the Pacifica used to be a crossover vehicle that was like an SUV from about a decade and a half ago. For 2021, the company has made very extensive changes to the Pacifica because if you guys remember the pre-refresh model, it had the old front fascia from the Chrysler 200, which to me, I never really liked that front fascia. As you can see, the design changes for this particular one that I'm showing you here. This is the Pacifica S. The S model is kind of like the sport package that you can get on the Pacifica. Surprisingly, it does very well for Chrysler in terms of sales. I really like the black accents here. The grille, as you can see, is completely new. It's got kind of like a mesh finish. These full LED headlights are actually standard equipment. It's the first minivan in the segment to get standard LED headlights. So I'm really happy to see Chrysler doing that. If you guys own the pre-refresh models, they didn't even offer LED headlights. You could get a bi-xenon headlight if you guys went for the top tier version. You also get LED fog lights down here. So again, very premium look. The turn signals, as it looks on this one here, are unfortunately just an incandescent design, but I love the fact that Chrysler is now including that. You're also going to get a lot more safety tech on this vehicle. You're going to get things like adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist. That's standard on every trim of the Pacifica, and that's a really good addition because, as you guys know, families are what drives these vehicles. So it's good that Chrysler made all the safety tech standard. Before, it was like part of an expensive option package. Now, looking at the side profile of this vehicle, you can see the profile hasn't changed because this is just a refreshed model. And the Pacifica still has kind of the look of a crossover and a minivan kind of blended together. I really like this gray exterior color that you get on this S version here. And if you guys are looking for 20-inch wheels, this is the only trim that was really going to offer the 20-inch wheel. I like the fact that it's kind of like a dark gray finish to it. It really fills out the wheel wells nicely. The other wheel options are like a 17 or an 18-inch design. This is really the one that's going to give the Pacifica more of a cooler, much more modern take on the vehicle. Now, this car is still available in gas and hybrid versions. The 3.6-liter Pentastar is going to be the standard engine that makes around 285 horsepower. There's also a hybrid plug-in version that has about 30 miles of range and offers around 280 horsepower and gives you around 500 miles of cruising range. You can take your pick between either a 9-speed automatic or an eCVT. The big news for 2021 is the fact that Chrysler is now returning all-wheel drive to this vehicle. That's right, if you guys go for an all-wheel drive version, it's limited to the 3.6-liter engine, the gas engine only. And Chrysler says they've been able to preserve the stow and go feature. So it's all due to their packaging. We haven't seen all-wheel drive on the Pacifica or on a Chrysler minivan since 2004. So I think it's going to be a welcome addition if you guys are looking for all-wheel drive. The confusing part though, however, is Chrysler says if you guys want to buy the pre-refreshed Pacifica 2020 model, you can order an all-wheel drive model for about a couple of months before this new vehicle goes on sale at the end of this year. Now, looking at the back of this vehicle, you can see the changes are also equally distinctive. I like the new taillights where you kind of have a LED taillight design with these light bar here that connects the two taillights together. It makes the minivan look a little bit more modern, a little bit more sophisticated, so I like that. Again, this S version here gives you some blacked out badging over here. There's no visible exhaust tips, which I'm kind of okay with, but this car does look a lot more elegant. It definitely will stand out. I really like the changes that Chrysler has made to the Pacifica for the 2021 model year. Now, looking at the cargo area, as you can see, minivans are the king of versatility, and that's not going to change over here. The rear third row over here still has the ability to fold completely into the floor. You also have a power folding feature, which Chrysler was one of the first vehicles to innovate with this feature. You also get the stow and go option, even if you guys go for the all-wheel drive system. If you fold down all the seats, you get more cargo space than what you're going to find in something like a Ford Expedition or a Chevrolet Suburban at a little over 153 cubic feet of overall space. Okay, so minivan buyers don't necessarily care that much about the exterior styling, but the interior is really where a lot of buyers care about it, and Chrysler has made a lot of changes to this interior. Now, I want to first mention the fact that I'm sitting in this S version, which is kind of based off of the limited trim. There's an all-new Pinnacle trim level, which now sits at the top of the hierarchy. The Pinnacle version has like a caramel brown leather interior, and there's 2 pillows in the back seat. Those pillows remind me a little bit of the Maybachs that have like a really soft, cushy pillow that you can kind of put in between the seats and use as like a lumbar pillow. That's a really nice addition, but I imagine a lot of families may end up with the pillows getting lost, getting stuff spilled all over them. So I'll be curious to know how much the Chrysler dealers are going to be charging if you need to go get a replacement pillow. Now, the big change or story here on the inside is this all new Uconnect 5 infotainment system. It's now a 10.1-inch display. And this particular one here that I'm showing you is kind of like in a demo mode, so I can't actually show you guys the way it looks because Chrysler has kind of, they're still fine-tuning this overall system, but the Uconnect 5 basically has a 5-time faster processing system than the old Uconnect 4. It's gonna have features, of course, like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It has an all-new TomTom-based navigation system. It's now gonna include map over-the-air updates, which is, again, a very important feature. And it's also going to have the ability so you could pair up to 2 Bluetooth phones in this vehicle if you'd like. That's actually something that I've never seen before in the industry. And it's also going to available Amazon Alexa integration. So again, everybody is all about the connectivity. The Uconnect 5 system here also has a nice Ultra HD display. So the graphics are a lot more clear. The interface has been redesigned to be a lot easier to use and a lot more intuitive. And of course, you're going to have the latest tech features, which I'll be showing you guys a more in-depth view of the Uconnect 5 infotainment system when this car, or when it becomes available. Chrysler says they'll be rolling it out later on this year. The rest of this interior, as you can see on this S version here, hasn't really changed. You still have, you know, again, tri-zone automatic climate control. You have this rotary shifter here that controls the 9-speed automatic. The steering wheel is the same nice steering wheel as you can see on the other, you know, the pre-refresh models. It's a tilt telescoping wheel. The seats are very comfortable. The center console here is available in 2 distinct flavors. This is kind of the more detailed console where you have this nice little storage area over here. You have wireless phone charging, you have all these USB ports over here. Chrysler also offers a smaller console, which doesn't take quite as much room, where they actually, wait, I messed this up. This is the smaller console. Sorry, let me try that again. Now, coming down to the center console, Chrysler now offers a choice of 2 distinctive consoles. This is kind of the more basic console, which is very similar to the previous generation. You have things like a wireless phone charger, you have a USB, cup holders, you have a little bit of storage here. The more detailed console, which is in the Pinnacle trim, gets rid of these folding armrests here and just kind of gives you a big center console here with a nice, you know, armrest area, a little bit more storage as well. So it's nice to see that Chrysler is including a lot of storage. Remember, minivan buyers really expect a lot of storage because these are fantastic road trip vehicles. But let me hop into the second row really quick and show you guys the space when you guys hop into the second and the third row. Now, looking at the second row of this minivan, you can see this particular one that I'm showing you here has the captain's chairs, and this one doesn't have the actual pillows that you get on the Pinnacle trim, but the seats themselves are still pretty much unchanged. They're a very comfortable seat. You have these 2 integrated, you know, rear seat entertainment system, which Chrysler says they've added more games. If you guys remember, this vehicle comes with these app suites where you can play games with, you know, yourself here or with the passenger over here, or you can play a computer. So this is all really nice stuff to keep your kids entertained on longer trips. You have things like HDMI port, USB port, headphone jack, a lot of storage over here. This panoramic sunroof above me also was one of the industry first for a minivan when Chrysler introduced this. So again, lets in a lot of natural light. The seats themselves back here also, they give you the ability to kind of slide them forward and back. You can kind of recline them as well, and it's really nice the fact that Chrysler has preserved the stow and go capability if you guys get all-wheel drive. Just keep in mind, if you guys want the hybrid version still does not offer the stow and go capability. Now, hopping into the third row of this vehicle, let me first show you guys how to get back here. If you pull this little lever right here, the seat kind of again slides forward to give you a nice opening over here. And unlike a lot of crossovers, minivans really give you a lot of space. This is a vehicle that you can truly carry, you know, 7 passengers in, and you can also carry a lot of their luggage, because most SUVs, when you have all the seats up, gives you very little cargo capacity. Minivans obviously don't kind of give you that compromise. There are some nice rear seat shades back here. Chrysler even includes this little button over here where you can kind of power fold the third row, or you can also power recline the seat. So again, it's not a bad place to spend time. So if you need to actually carry full-size adults, a minivan is still the vehicle you're going to want to do it in. Oh, sorry, I was taking a little nap back here. As you can see, here's the pillows on the new Pinnacle trim. They're not quite as soft as the Maybach pillows, but it's really great for taking a nap or putting down here if you guys need some lumbar support. But I should probably talk about when you can actually buy this all-new Pacifica. Now, this particular one here is the hybrid version, and Chrysler says that this new Pacifica will be going on sale at the end of 2020, so Q4, and they haven't announced pricing yet on this vehicle. Obviously, they're going to be announcing that at a later date. The current Pacifica ranges from like the high $20,000 range all the way up to the mid 40s, depending on which trim level you get. I have to admit, this Pinnacle version on the inside really impressed me with the attention to detail, the additional features, those really cushy pillows, and the fact that Chrysler is now giving us a level of luxury that you never really expected in a minivan. But just keep in mind, if you guys actually have a lot of small kids and pets, you may not want to actually put them in the interior of the Pinnacle because it's just far too nice, but this would make a really great vehicle to actually put full-size adults in and take them on a long road trip. For other reviews here at the 2020 Chicago Auto Show, I'm Sophian Bay.